Hello, and thank you for watching this presentation on the rather glamorous subject of off-main sewage treatments. My name's Anya Kulishevsky and I work for the Morecambe Bay Partnership, and I deliver the Love My Beach campaign as a beach care coordinator for Cumbria. It's a campaign focused on working together for cleaner seas and beaches throughout the Northwest to ensure they can be enjoyed by locals, visitors and wildlife for generations to come. We support a network of over 30 volunteer groups throughout the Northwest who work tirelessly to clear our beaches, promenades and estuaries. You may well have seen us out and about with litter pickers in hand. We get school groups and businesses out on the beach learning about the ocean and sustainability as well. Aside from clearing litter, we run various campaigns with the aim of encouraging simple behaviour changes individuals can make to protect our beaches and seas from home, in the workplace or even at school. For example, our latest campaign is called WOOP, Wipe Out Ocean Plastics, where we work with young women to encourage the correct disposal of bathroom items such as wet wipes and encourage the use of more sustainable toiletries. We work on various other projects to improve bathing water quality, like working with hospitality businesses to reduce the amount of oil they put down the sink, working with motorhome owners to encourage proper disposal of wastewater, and dog owners on the effect leaving waste on the beach has on water quality. If you want any more information on these campaigns, then head to the Love My Beach website. The Love My Beach campaign was established in 2012 as part of the Turning Tides Partnership. This is a group of key stakeholders, including United Utilities, Environment Agency, local authorities, public health teams, Keep Britain Tidy and Morecambe Bay Partnership, that all came together to improve bathing water quality and protect public health across the region. Great efforts have been made by these stakeholders to improve bathing water quality, and the Northwest now has the cleanest and safest beaches they've ever had.
My name is Kath Smith and I'm the Community and Engagement Officer for South Cumbria Rivers Trust, which is a registered charity that works to protect, conserve and improve freshwater environments of South Cumbria. This is through practical interventions, engagement and education. We give advice and support to landowners, farmers and communities about protecting their rivers, improving water quality and creating better riparian habitats for wildlife. We also work with schools and communities to encourage people to discover what amazing places our rivers and lakes are, what wildlife is found there from the tiny invertebrates to critically endangered eels, how we impact on them and what we can do to help them.
But what is bathing water quality? At beaches where a number of people enter the water, the Environment Agency takes water samples for testing during the bathing water season. They are tested for bacteria which could be harmful to human health, and from these results, beaches are awarded a classification ranging from poor to excellent. Within the Northwest, we have 30 bathing waters, and due to infrastructure improvements, community action and various campaigns, 100% of our beaches now meet minimum standards, with many achieving excellent status. It's worth noting that we do have a number of beaches which are identified as priority bathing waters. This doesn't necessarily mean they have the poorest water quality, it's just they could be at risk of deterioration. Although pollution incidents need reporting at all beaches, we would ask people to be extra vigilant at these particular places. You never know, but what you report could in fact be an unknown cause of their priority status.
However, it's not just about our beaches. Much of the pollution from sewage to plastics washes into our beaches and enters the sea via our river systems. Most homes are connected to the main sewage network, but in rural areas, properties are largely not, so will have their own private systems. These could be usually a septic tank, a cesspit or a packaged sewer treatment plant. Treated water from sewage systems discharges into watercourses and lakes, so it's really important to make sure off-main systems work properly and are well maintained. Putting the wrong things through the system or failing to empty them regularly increases the chance of pollutants ending up in our rivers and our lakes and on our beaches.
This project has been carried out in partnership with the Environment Agency, Lake District Foundation and the South Cumbria Rivers Trust. This presentation will run through everything you need to know about managing your off-main sewage systems and how to spot if something is going wrong, as well as any support that's available. We will cover why and how you should look after your system, offer some top tips, encourage you to think about syndicate emptying schemes, what the law is and what support's available. Looking after your system properly will save you money, help avoid costly bills if things go wrong, and you'll be doing your bit for the environment too. There will be links to websites at the end of the presentation, which should provide you with any further information you may need. Do please feel free to send any questions, feedback or comments over to us.
So why does it matter if treated wastewater is discharged into a river or a lake? It matters as within that discharge are phosphates. which are classed as a nutrient pollutant and are found in many things such as cleaning products and fertilisers. While some phosphates are removed from discharges at larger treatment works, it doesn't happen at our smaller sites or private off-main systems. Too many phosphates have a negative impact on our water quality, and as the water then becomes nutrient rich, encouraging the growth of algae, creating those algal blooms. As these blooms die back, oxygen is stripped from the water, starving fish and freshwater invertebrates of oxygen. The decaying matter falls to the bed of the rivers and lakes, smothering young fish and invertebrates, impacting on population numbers. Some algal blooms are harmless, but blue-green algae, which is also known as cyanobacteria, is harmful to wildlife, pets and humans. Blooms in lakes are tested by the Environment Agency for blue-green algae, and if found, warnings are issued. This impacts on our enjoyment of lakes, can lead to leisure activities and events being cancelled, as well as to the loss of wildlife. So by ensuring that your tank is properly maintained, you are helping to protect your local waters and wildlife.
So let's talk about off-main sewage systems then. The first and most common type of septic is septic tanks. Your septic tank is usually made up of 2 chambers buried underground. They can be brick built or made from fiberglass or plastic. The tank holds sewage. The solid either falls to the bottom or floats to the top, and the liquid drains through a pipe into drainage fields or soakaways. This drainage is really important as it removes the remaining pollutants before the liquid reaches groundwater. Septic tanks generally need emptying every 12 months.
Packaged sewage treatment plants are more sophisticated than septic tanks. They're much more like a mini version of the sewage treatment works owned by water companies and dotted around the country. Many of these plants need an electric supply, and you can often see a large cover above ground. The sewage is biologically treated within the plant. The process allows bacteria to grow, which then breaks down the sewage, resulting in treated effluent that can be released straight into a watercourse subject to certain conditions. And just like a septic tank, packaged sewage treatment plants need to be regularly emptied and also serviced and maintained. The most simplest system is a cesspit. And although the most expensive, it is just largely an underground tank that needs to be emptied more frequently. On average, cesspits need emptying every 6 to 12 months. With all of these systems, it's really important to know the following things. You need to make sure you know what type of system you have. You need to make sure you know where your system is located. Check if you share it with a neighbour and find out where the treated liquid goes. You need to check if there are any potential risks to nearby watercourses, and always make sure your waste is collected by a licensed individual.
Much the same as any domestic or commercial property, camping and caravan sites will manage sewage in a way which will prevent pollution. Ideally, camping and caravan sites should be connected to a public sewage system. However, this is not always possible, particularly when situated in very rural areas. In this case, sites will be provided with a separate sewage treatment system, typically septic tanks, packaged sewage treatments, or cesspits. Users of caravan and camping sites should follow any guidance provided by the site owners with regard to sewage disposal. Private sewage systems can be more susceptible to bad practice, and particular care should be taken to follow the 3 Ps. Only put poo, pee and paper down the toilet, and use cleaners and household bleachers very sparingly. Particular care must be taken when disposing of chemical toilet waste from touring caravans. The chemicals used in these portaloos are extremely toxic to the environment and should be disposed of in dedicated chemical toilet disposal points provided at most sites. Wild camping in campervans is a popular activity, and similar to camping in caravan, toilet waste must be disposed of with care. Toilet waste should not be disposed of into rivers or on road drains unless you are absolutely confident that the drain leads to a sewer. The best advice is to dispose of the contents into a toilet or chemical toilet disposal point. Download this leaflet for motorhome and campervan users from the LOVEmyBEACH website. We will show a link at the end.
So what goes into your system can make a difference to how well it works, and that includes the loo in your campervan. Help your tank by following the top tips. For wise washing and cleaning, the bacteria in the tank helps break down the waste, so please make sure you only use cleaners and detergents that are suitable for septic tanks and are phosphate-free. There are a wide variety of phosphate-free products out there at a range of prices, from budget supermarkets to premium ranges. A few minutes spent looking at the labels will reward you in the long term. Please, please, please avoid bleach and other harsh chemicals, as these will kill off the working bacteria in your tank. When it comes to your loo, keep it simple and only flush the 3 Ps, pee, poo and paper. Never flush cleansing wipes, wet wipes, facial wipes, cotton buds, sanitary products or nappies down the toilet. And be sink savvy. Don't pour food waste and cooking oils down your sink, and as with your toilet, don't use harsh chemicals or bleach either.
Telltale signs your tank isn't working. So see and sniff. Taking the time to check and maintain and empty your tank not only saves you money in the long run, but will also help prevent sewage leaking into the natural environment. Check your tank regularly for issues like dark, smelly pipe discharge or slowly clearing drains. Look out for signs that your drainage field may be clogged up. Is there an area of sponge in lush vegetation? Your system should be emptied regularly by a licensed contractor who will transport the contents to a local sewage works. Emptying by farmers is now illegal unless they have a registered waste carrier licence. If you're not sure about how well your tank is working, then ask your emptying contractor for advice. They may be able to carry out a system health check. It's also worth checking your plumbing and drainage connections to make sure that rainwater is running into the surface drain network rather than into your septic tank. Similarly, water from sinks, toilets and washing machines should always go into your sewage system. Pipe misconnections can often be found in older properties, extensions, outbuildings and garages if washing machines have been plumbed in. Generally, you should avoid pouring paints, oils and chemicals down the drain. If you're washing your car, try to use eco-friendly cleaning materials. In the garden, reduce the use of fertilisers and chemicals like slug pellets and weed killers, as these can wash off into surface drain systems and then ultimately into our becks and rivers.
In January 2015, new rules were introduced that simplify the way septic tanks and small sewage treatment plants are regulated in England to protect our environment and improve water quality. The rules mean that certain septic tank systems should be upgraded or replaced by January 2020. We will show you a link at the end of this presentation, which will take you to the government website, which has all the details you may need.
In areas where lots of people have septic tanks, it could be really beneficial to arrange a syndicate. This means that you arrange joint collection of your septic tanks. This will mean that you could pay less for collection. Details of how to set up a syndicate can be found on the Call of Nature website. There's a leaflet explaining the best way to set up a syndicate that you can download for free.
There is plenty of support available if you need help or advice on how to correctly manage an off-main sewage system. Visit the Call of Nature website for easy to digest information and visit the Environment Agency website to find out all the rules and regulations associated with off-main sewage.
Thanks so much for watching this presentation. We hope that you found it really useful. Do feel free to send any questions, comments or feedback to us. Just click the Contact Us section on each of our prospective websites.